Hello, everyone, and welcome to Choices Life Coaching and Jennifer's Perspective. And today, on Jennifer's Perspective, our topic of discussion will be stress management and why it is important to manage stress. Okay? While it may seem like there's nothing you can do about stress at work and at home, there are steps that you can take to relieve the pressure and regain control. Now, like many things, it is very important to manage stress. Why is it important to manage stress? If you're living with high levels of stress, you're putting your entire well-being at risk. And stress wreaks havoc on our emotional equilibrium as well as our physical and mental health and well-being. It narrows your ability to think clearly, function effectively, and enjoy life. It may seem like there's nothing you can do about stress. The bills won't stop coming. There will never be more hours in a day, and your work and family responsibilities will always be demanding. But you have a lot more control than you might think. Okay, effective stress management helps you to break the hold of stress on your life so that you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. The ultimate goal is a balanced, harmonious life with time for work, relationships, relaxation, and fun. You have to find time for work, relationships, relaxation, and fun because it's very important, because if you don't deal with the stress in your life at that moment and at that time, it can cause so many health issues. Stress is a way to get rid of stress, to deal with stress, and to be able to balance your work, relationships, relaxation, and fun, and have the resilience to hold up under pressure and meet challenges head on. But stress management is not one size fit all. It's not a one size fit all. It's not like, okay, you know those wraparound skirts back in the days where they have the one size fit all? It's not that kind of thing. That's why it's important to experiment and find out what works best for you. And the following stress management tips that I'm going to give you today will help you to do just that. Hi, our ladies. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Number one, identify the source of the stress in your life. Okay? Hi, Amanda, thanks for joining. Identify the source of stress in your life and what is causing the stress. Stress management starts with identifying the source of stress in your life, and this isn't as straightforward as it sounds. While it's easy to identify major stressors such as changing jobs, moving, or going through a divorce, been there, done that. Pinpointing the sources of chronic stress can be more complicated than you think it is. Okay? It's all too easy to overlook how our own thoughts, the things that we think, and the way that we feel, and our own behaviors contribute to our everyday stress level. Sure, you may know that you're constantly worried about work deadlines, or maybe it's your own procrastination, or rather than the actual job demands, it could be family demands with the children, with your spouse, with the bills. All of these can cause stress. To identify your true source of stress, to identify the true source of stress, look closely at your own habits, your own attitudes, and your excuses. So do you explain away stress as temporary? I must have a million things going on right now, even though I can't remember the last time I took a break. I can't remember the last time I took a vacation. Do you define stress as an integral part of your work, home, and social life? Are things always crazy around you, or as a part of your personality and your social life? Do you incorporate the stress? Do you feed off of the stress? Uh, do you have a lot of nervous energy all the time? I know that like yesterday I took that photo and I posted it. I was so daggone glad that the day was over with, because I was so stressed to the point, like, okay, we're all adults here. There aren't any children in this place. Like, why do I feel like I'm working with a bunch of high schoolers and elementary school people? We're all grown people. So what I had to do, I had to close my office door and just focus on my work, on what it is that I had to do, because I can't blame other people for me not producing when I'm on the time clock, because they're paying me to be there. They're paying me to do my job, and to do my job well, and to play nice with everybody in the sandbox. But what happens when you can't play nice? You just got to take a break, stay focused, and do what it is that you have to do. And until you accept responsibility for the role that you play in creating or maintaining it, your stress level will remain outside of your control. So start a stress journal. And stress journal, how can me journaling help me to identify the regular stresses in my life and the way I deal with them, or the way that you may deal with things? And each time that you feel stress, keep track of it in your journal and keep a daily log, and you'll begin to see certain patterns and common themes. And within these themes, just write them down. Okay, write them down and pay attention to those things that pushes your button, and how you felt both physically and emotionally, and how you acted in response, and what did it make you yourself? Did it make you feel better, or did it make you not feel better? And learn to practice the 4 A's in stress management. While it is an automatic response from our nervous system, some stresses arise at predictable times. Your commute to work, a meeting with the boss, the family gatherings, for example. Say you haven't been connected with your family, or maybe when you are with the family, you know it's going to be chaotic and confusion and stuff like that. Notice when you get stressed. I notice sometimes, like, when handling such predictable stresses, you can either change the situation or change the way you react to a certain situation. When deciding option to choose in any given scenario, it's helpful to think of the 4 A's. The 4 A's means to avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. Okay? The 4 A's is avoid stress, alter the stressful situation, adapt to the stressful situation, or accept the situation. Okay? Now, the 4 A's: avoid, alter, adapt, and accept. It's not healthy to avoid a stressful situation that needs to be addressed. But you may be surprised by the number of stresses in your own personal life, on your job, within your family, or within your own social circle that you can eliminate. Okay? Learn how to say the big 2-letter word N-O, no. And it took me a long time to get to realize that it's okay to say no. You can say no when you don't agree to something. You can say no when you don't want to do something, or you can say no when something makes you feel uncomfortable. Learn how to say no. Don't put too much on your plate. Don't take on more than you can handle, okay? Know your limits and stick to them. Whether in your personal or professional life, taking on more than you can handle is a sure way of, it is a sure recipe for stress, okay? Don't overload your work life. Don't overload your personal life. Don't take on more than you can handle, and distinguish between the things that is a must, things that must be done. Even though to me everything has to get done right here, right now, everything has to be get done, because what are you going to do? There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only 7 days in a week and 365 days a year. So try not to do too much, okay? And then when we become overloaded and too stressed, we take it out on the people around us. We take it out on our coworkers. We take it out on our families. We take it out on our friends. We take it out on our children. You understand what I'm saying? We take it out on the people around us within our vicinity. Why? I remember I went to a function and I was helping, and it was a lot going on, and the person that hosted the function, they were very stressed with them. I mean, they were stressed to the hilt because they're schmoozing and they're greeting people and they're trying to make sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do and that the event went smoothly. But at some point, I noticed that the actual person that was doing the event became very snappy at the people that was helping, and very like, okay, take a breather. We're all here to help you. So just take it down a notch, assign some people some things to do. And if you need 15 minutes or 10 minutes, take a break, step away from all that is going on at the moment and just breathe. Because when we become overstressed or too stressed, we take it out on the people around us, and we don't mean to. But then they're like, oh my God, what's wrong with this person? Or what's wrong with that person? That they have an attitude. Why? Because we actually brought this on ourselves. So don't put too much on your plate at the same time. And if you can avoid certain people that causes you to stress out every time you see them, you go into a spasm. Okay, get yourself a new friend, get yourself a new business partner. Avoid the people that consistently causes stress in your life. Limit the amount of time that you spend with that person or in that relationship altogether. That would be my advice, because a sound mind and a sound heart, you can't replace mental health and you can't replace emotional health. And I've noticed that even with some of my patients, when I worked in the cardiology department, after many of my patients have had heart attacks, I remember when I was commuting from Pennsylvania to New York and commuting back and forth, that was like a 2.5-hour ride. And the cardiac patients would be like, why are you so stressed out about it? I wanted to be closer to my family, but my job was in the state of New Jersey. And they was like, just move closer to your job. And then I was missing my family to the point of, oh my God, I had really missed being around my mom, my sisters, my brothers, my nieces and nephews. And I just loved being with them like all the time. And then when I had to move away from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, I got into a panic attack because I didn't know anybody in the area. all I knew was my job and the people that I worked with. And God bless Hope Alexander, wherever you are, Hope. You will always be my friend, and I will always be eternally grateful. Thank you so very much for opening up your home to me and allowing me to stay in your daughter's room when she went off to college, so that I didn't have to commute 2.5 hours in the AM and 2.5 hours in the PM every day. So I would stay Monday through Friday, and then I would go home on the weekends. And then eventually I found an apartment in the Hackensack area where I'm currently residing now. And the commute alone at the time, they was doing so much renovations on 80 going west. Oh my God. If I left the house like 5 minutes late, I would leave the house at 5:30, 5:45. The office opened up at 8, but I would get to work at 7:30, 7 to 15. If I left the house at 6 o'clock or 6:15, I would be caught up into that crazy traffic, and I would reach work at 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm saying to myself, oh my God, like I had to really be accurate with my time, the commuting, the gas, and how much it costs to commute back and forth every day. And I just want to say, if you can avoid a stressful situation, even though I wanted to be near my family for my own peace of mind and so that I wouldn't be so stressed out, I had to move closer to my job and closer to the area that I worked in. Now, if you can avoid certain situations, certain people, take control of the environment, okay? In the evening, if the evening news, I only watch like one season, 20 minutes of the evening news. Why? Because when I turn on that TV, whether it's 7, Channel 2, Channel 4, oh my God, all I keep hearing is all the bad and crappy stuff that happened throughout the day. They don't give you the positive things that people do. They only give you like a 2-minute segment of, okay, somebody saved the cat. Or, okay, look at this nice little picture, or they'll show you some kids doing something in school. But for half an hour from, say, 5 p.m. to 7:30, they bombard you constantly on CNN, Fox News, and all the news channel with all the bad stuff that's going on around the world. I understand that we all need to be aware of what's going on, not only here in the United States, but what's happening around the world. But how much of that are you ingesting and putting into your own spirit, into your own self-conscious? Because if the evening news give you stress, don't watch the news. Hey, I did it for years. I mean, absolutely for years. I would be in this house and I would find something else to watch on TV other than the evening news. And take control of your environment. Like when you go to the supermarket, you're responsible for what you pick up and put in your shopping cart, and then you pay the cashier of all the things that you picked up. In your own personal space where you live, you have to take responsibility for what goes on within that area. Okay? And sometimes it takes a little bit longer to take the less traveled route, but sometimes you just have to do that. You have to. I know that when traveling, I can't take 17 to work. I can't take 17 to 3 to get to my job. I just can't, because even though on the map it's the shortest distance, but the amount of time that I sit in traffic just to get from where I live to Kearney, oh my God, just to sit in traffic is like 2-3 hours. So when I jump on the Garden State Parkway, even though the distance is longer, there's hardly any traffic at the time when I get up at 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m. There's hardly any traffic and then when I get on the highway at 5:30, quarter to 6, there's hardly any traffic. So I can just get on the Garden State Parkway and avoid all the clutter, avoid the gridlock, and just get to work when I'm supposed to on time. Now, pare down your to-do list, okay? Make your list and analyze your schedule, analyze your responsibilities and the things that you have to do on a daily basis. Make your list, your to-do list, what you got to do from the time you wake up until the time you go to bed. And from you get up, brush your teeth. If you have to get up, do your morning meditation, 15 minutes to a half an hour. And you got to get the kids ready for school. Try to see if you can start getting some of them ready, like pack their bags, their homework, and the things that you can do the night before, like getting their clothes together so that in the AM, when it's time for you all to get ready to leave the house to go to school, it's not, oh my God, where's the shoes? Where's the this? Oh my God, where's your socks? Where's your book bag? Where's it this? Try to prepare all of those things from the night before, along with their clothing, so that you know what it is that you have to do when it comes to the AM, that there isn't that a lot of that chaos. And see how many things that you have. If you have too many things on your to-do list, see what you can take off of the to-do list, the must, and I can get to that tomorrow. Okay, some things don't keep pushing it off until the next day. Some things you have to do, just get it done. But if you can avoid a stressful situation, try to alter the situation. Often this involves changing the way that we communicate or operate on a daily basis in our daily lives amongst the people that we work with, live with, play with, and socialize with. Okay, so sometimes we can alter it or tweak it a little bit. It's like a cooking recipe. You know, add a little pinch of salt, a little pepper, some sazon. Okay, you ran out of sazon, add some adobo. But, you know, tweak it to make it to where you're comfortable in that situation. Okay, and express your feelings instead of bottling them up inside, because that is very, very important. If something or someone is bothering you, be assertive and communicative and communicate with that person. Communicate your concerns in an open and respectful way. Do not embarrass them, because sometimes you don't have to do that, but you should be able to communicate your feelings in a respectful way that they can respect it and they can actually understand what it is that you're saying. Because I used to be that type of person. I would bottle everything up. Oh my God, I bottled everything up inside and I would just shut down. And when I couldn't take it anymore, I would just start crying and they'd be like, what happened? And my famous line was, nothing. Well, I'm sitting here bawling and what's going on? Nothing, because I didn't know how to express myself or express what it was that I was feeling or how I was feeling. So sometimes just take a minute and speak slowly, clearly, and calmly and express yourself, or in a respectful way, not degrading. You don't have to belittle the person. You don't have to use profanity. You don't have to call them all out of their names and stuff like that. You don't have to do that, but do it in a respectful way. And if you've got an exam and you have to study, and you may have a chatty roommate, say it's exam time and you have to cram and you have to study and you're sharing a space, your apartment or a roommate, with someone that is very disruptive and the music's too loud, you can't concentrate. Find some way to communicate to them, like, look, you know, I just got home, and say up front, it only takes a few minutes to talk. And if you don't voice your feelings, resentment will build up. So don't do that, because then you're going to resent the person that you're living with, working with, socializing with, or maybe you're friends with that person. So find a way to communicate without being disrespectful. That goes for your employer, your employees, the people you work with or work for. Find a way to say it so that they clearly understand what it is you're saying, and you don't have to disrespect them or belittle them. Okay, be willing to compromise. When you ask someone to change their behavior, be willing to do the same. If I ask you to stop doing something if you ask me to stop doing something that you don't like, I will expect you to do the same thing to me, for me as well. If I say I don't like a certain thing, don't continue doing it, because then that shows me that you're not my friend. You don't respect my feelings. You do not respect me if you continue to do the things or behave a certain way or treat me a certain way that I don't like. You understand? So that means that you clearly do not appreciate me, or you do not respect what it is I'm trying to do or trying to say. So if I'm asking you to do something and you're asking me to do something, we have to both be able to compromise, meet in the middle somewhere, and to either maintain the relationship or the friendship. We have to respect each other's needs and wishes. Okay, now create a balanced schedule. All work and no play is a recipe for burnout. Oh my God, you cannot work 24/7. You can't work 7 days a week. Everything can't be work, and you're not taking time to relax. You're not taking time to be with your family, to be with your friends. You're not taking time to travel or to just unwind and do absolutely nothing. Okay? Sometimes you just have to do that. So create a schedule that will bring harmony to your work life, to your personal life, and to your social life. Okay? And if you can't change the stressor, change yourself. Okay? I'm always working on myself, constantly working on myself, because I always see I'm not too critical, but I know the areas that I'm weak in, and I know the areas that actually I could be a little bit more stronger and build up that part of my either my personality or or social skills, maybe. Nah, I got that part. I think there's certain things that I can actually change within myself so that I learn how not to react to certain things that disturb me or disturb my peace or disturb my equilibrium. Okay? And refrain problems. Try to view stressful situations from a more positive perspective. Okay, Jennifer's perspective is all about the way that I view things or the way that I see things. So if you can find a more positive perspective rather than fuming about a traffic jam, or maybe God is delaying you for a reason, or look at an opportunity to pause and regroup, listen to your favorite radio station, or just enjoy some alone time, just where you can just sit down and just be quiet and tune out the outside and just settle your nerves, settle your thoughts, and find a way to de-stress from certain situations. And then you have to look at the big picture. Okay, look at the big picture. Take perspective of the stressful situation. Ask yourself how important it will be in the long run. Will it matter in a month? Will it matter in a year? Is it really worth getting upset over? If the answer is no, focus on your time and take that focus your time and energy and put that time and energy elsewhere. Okay, adjust your standards. And this is a big one for me. Okay, adjust your standards. Perfectionism is a major source of avoidable stress, but stop getting yourself so bent out of shape when things aren't perfect, because nothing's perfect. Like, okay, do the best that you can. If you can't get that angle or a certain point or a certain situation the way that you think that it should be, but okay, if this is the best that you can do for now until you grow a little bit or until you become more accurate, I think that you shouldn't beat yourself up or beat the next person up because they couldn't do it exactly that you wanted them to do something. Okay, now, and set reasonable standards for yourself and for others, and learn to be okay with, wow, this is good enough. This is excellent. I'm good enough. You're good enough. Okay, I'm good enough. You're good enough. And what you did for me was very good. And learn gratitude. Practice gratitude. Practice to be grateful to the people who serve you, the people who help you, to the people who assist you, for the people who live with you, for the person that hands you a letter or just hands you a piece of paper. Learn to say thank you. And when you do that, you'll find that you become less confrontational and a little bit more appreciative. You understand? And when stress is getting us down, take a moment to reflect on all the things that you appreciate in life, like including the positive qualities of the positive aspects of yourself, your gifts and abilities, and the positive qualities and aspects of the person or the people that is around you. You can always find something about either a person, the situation, your living arrangement, your working environment, your vehicle, where you're traveling to, your job, your family. You can always find something about any situation to be grateful for. Okay, now, some sources of stress is unavoidable. We just got to admit that. Sometimes we can't prevent or change the things that causes us stress, such as the death of a loved one. Jason Hill, I give you my condolences to you and your family, and my condolences for the passing of your mom. I know how much you loved her, and I know how much you and Lois really loved your mom. And Lois, I know you really loved your mother-in-law. So my deepest condolences to Jason Hill and his family. And some things is just, you can't avoid death. You can't. So that's a stressful situation. And serious illness. Say you have a family member that's chronically ill in hospice, or has a birth defect or a disability. Some things and some people just have to deal with. And when you're dealing with a disabled adult or an invalid adult or child, those things can be stressful because their communication is different. And we have to learn how to be very patient and attuned with how they communicate to us, because they can't express themselves the way that we expressed ourselves. So we really have to learn how to. Hi, Howard. Thanks for joining. Hi, Marvin. Thanks for joining. Hi, Marshall. How you doing? Hi, Stanley. And when it comes to like a recession, I remember when I was working, when that national recession hit and the housing market went to a boom, and the company had lost this big contract, and now they didn't want to lay off people. Then they start cutting back on the hours. So instead of 40 hours, they're telling you that 35 hours is now full-time, 40 hours isn't full-time. Then they moved it from 35 hours to 32 hours. That's considered full-time, and then they dropped it down to 30 hours, and they're telling you, oh, you can get health benefits, but you've just taken away 10 hours, and the health insurance costs X amount of dollars. I have X amount of people in my family. How am I going to make up the difference? You understand? So certain things we cannot avoid. So we just have to find ways to deal with it and incorporate either another income or another supplement, but certain things we just can't avoid. And then you had to make get 2 part-time jobs to be equivalent to 1 full-time job so that you can get health insurance for yourself and your family. And I remember when we went through that in like 2008, 9, and 10, oh my God, it was really, really stressful. But thank God that's behind us now. And moving forward, don't try to control the uncontrollable. I have learned in my lifetime, I have no control over other people, anything outside of me. And I'm learning how to do that. I'm learning to control my own thoughts, the things that I think, feel, and say. But I have no control over another person, a group of people, or their situation, or how they may choose to do things. So I had to learn not to let that stress me out, because if that's the way they want to do something, that's their choice. You understand? If that's the way they want to run their family, run their business, or do a certain thing, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, the way that they do things. And my only responsibility, or your only responsibility, is how we react, how we respond to things that we have no control over. Okay? So if you can't control a certain situation or a certain thing, find that center within yourself. Get centered in your mind, emotionally, spiritually, and just get centered and align yourself up with your creator, and get centered and be peaceful. And then you will learn that things that you have no control over, but you have control whether or not you're going to be peaceful in a certain situation or not. So how you choose to deal with something or handle something is all up to you. And stuff that what was that? A serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the things to know, and the wisdom to know the difference. So if you have asked God to give you wisdom on how to deal with a certain situation or people, okay? And look for the upside in everything. Everything always has an upside. When facing major challenges, take a look and try to be as optimistic as possible for your own personal growth. You understand? For your own personal growth, look for the good in people. Look for the good in situations. And if someone is scandalizing you, or someone is destroying your reputation, or, people speak negative things over your life, call them out on that BS and call them a liar and stop that instantly. You understand? Stop that foolishness and that madness so they don't continue to perpetuate that thing that is just totally disrespectful and very, very rude. Okay? Now you have people out here that are doing really, really good things, and you have people, women building businesses, raising families, and doing the best that they can. And I find that, no offense, my brothers, you know that I love you dearly, but I love my sisters and I love myself. Why? Because you have women out here being mothers. They're raising their families. They're running businesses. They're playing the roles of mothers and fathers. And you have men out here. Instead of trying to help them, you're going to diss them and disrespect them. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of you trying to lift them up, they're doing something positive. Encourage them and help them. And for those of you, I understand we can't stop you brothers from watching porn and doing all this other kind of stuff, but don't expect us, after you've done sat there and watched all that damn foolishness all day long, don't expect us when you come home to act like the porn star in the damn film that you've been watching, because we're not that. Okay? Have some damn kind of respect. Okay, and treat us with some respect and some damn dignity, because we're your wives, we're your mothers, we're your daughters, we're your sisters, and we are the women that is taking care of you and the entire family. So learn to have some respect for us, okay? And the next thing is that we can't control the way that you think, but we can control the way that you treat us. You understand? And you will not disrespect me or treat me less than that. Okay? And I just wanted to say thank you very, 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 very much. But you have women out here that is running businesses, raising families, going to work, working 2 and 3 damn jobs. Lift a sister up. Help a sister out. Encourage a sister. I love you, my brothers, and you know that I love you dearly, but stop thinking with your damn dicks all the damn time. No offense, okay? Because you have people out here, we're taking care of your parents, for God's sake. You have some women taking care of people's parents, and I've seen people take care of their in-laws and men still be dissing on them. So learn to show some respect for these women that is in your lives that are doing not only for you, but for your family and for your children. Okay? And enough of that. That was just a pet peeve that I think I just had to mention. And then you had to learn to forgive. Forgive other people. You have to forgive yourself. Forgive the people that hurt you. Forgive the people that did stuff to you like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, 15 years ago. Learn to forgive, like try to forgive them as soon as possible. Learn to forgive them as soon as possible, because that way you won't be carrying around all that stuff inside and in your heart. And share your feelings. Expressing what you're going through can be very cathartic, even if there's nothing you can do to alter the stressful situation. Okay? Learn to talk to a trusted friend or make an appointment with a therapist or come see me as a life coach, and learn to speak and learn to discuss and share your feelings. Everything that you say and do is confidential. And get moving, get moving. When you get stressed, the last thing you probably feel like doing is getting up and exercising. But physical activity is a huge stress reliever. Believe me. And if you don't have to be an athlete or spend hours in a gym or experience the benefits of exercise, learn to go for a walk. jump rope, go hiking, do something, go to the gym, put in a workout tape or a DVD. If you can't get to the gym, do a 15-minute workout at home or something like that, okay? And the next thing is put on some music, dance around the house, take your dog for a walk, okay? Exercise releases endorphins that make you feel good, and it can also serve as a valuable distraction from your daily worries, okay? So while you get the most benefit out of a regular 30-minute exercise, that is very important. It's okay to build up your fitness level gradually. Even very small activities can add up over the course of a day. Okay, so hi, Stanley. So first a step is to get yourself up and moving, walk, get on your bicycle, ride your bike, ride your bike to the grocery store. If you only have to pick up a few things, use the stairs at home or at work rather than the elevator, and park your car in the furthest slot in the parking lot and take that extra few steps to walk to the building to get to work, okay? And it also avoids people from scratching up your vehicle when you park too close to other vehicles sometimes. So when you park your car, take those extra few steps. It'll give you time to settle your mind and your thoughts before you either enter the building or enter a movie theater or a restaurant, okay? Play ping pong, do an activity based on a video game with your kids, and the stress busting magic of mindful rhythmic exercise. Go get a massage. Go to the massage therapist and have them, go to the spa and have them do the massages, work out the kinks and the tension that you may feel from time to time, okay? Because stress and tension can build up into the body, okay? And the next thing is connect with other people. This is very, 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 very important. Your social group and the people that you connect with and socialize with, it is very important that you learn to laugh, okay? There's nothing more calming than spending quality time with another human being who makes you feel safe and understood. In fact, the face-to-face interaction is a cascade of hormones and counteracts the body's defensive fight or flight response, okay? So it's nature's neighbors. As an additional bonus, learn how to laugh. Laughter is good medicine. Laughter is very, 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 very healthy for the body, and it releases endorphins, and it also it calms the mind, okay? You ever notice, like, after a while when you just buzzing and you're watching something that you forgot that what it was that you were upset about or something, okay? And try not to let worries about looking weak or being a burden keep you from opening up to another person. Okay, this is also very, very important. When you're connecting with other people, it is also important that don't get so, how are they going to receive me? Just be yourself. People are more welcoming and inviting than you think they are. Okay, so open up, share your concerns, just tell a funny story, go to a funny movie, go see something on TV, watch a funny sitcom, go to a comedy club, okay? Or invite a few friends over and have a fun night at your house with your girlfriends or with your family or with your friends, okay? And it's not always realistic to have a pal or someone to lean on when you feel overwhelmed, but by building and maintaining a good network of close friends that you can count on, friends that help to improve your resiliency and help strengthen you and encourage you in life. This is also very, very important to value and protect these relationships, okay? Now, tip building for relationships. Reach out to a colleague at work. Help someone else by volunteering. Have lunch or coffee with a friend. Ask a loved one to check in on you on a regular basis. Accompany someone to the movies or to a concert. Call or email an old friend, go for a walk with a workout buddy, and schedule a weekly dinner or a dinner date with your spouse or your significant other, and meet new people by taking a class or joining a club or joining a group, or confide in a clergy member, teacher, or a sports coach. And the next thing is make time for fun and relaxation. This is very, 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 very important. Okay, beyond a take charge approach and positive attitude, you can reduce stress in your life and in your body by carving out time for me. Get you some me time. Get your me time in, okay? Now, when you get your me time in, don't get so caught up in the hustle and bustle of life that you might forget to take care of your own needs and your own self. You have to take care of yourself if you are going to take care of other people. This is very, 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 very important. And most people who are caretakers do not spend enough time taking care of themselves, and then they get burned out, they get stressed out, they don't carve out and set aside enough time within their day to take care of themselves, okay? So you have to take care of yourself. Set aside time that you need for nurturing yourself is a necessity. It is not a luxury, ladies and gentlemen. It is a necessity. You have to learn to set aside time, to take time for yourself, to take care of yourself. If you regularly take time for fun and relaxation, you'll be in a better place to handle life's stressors, okay? You're in a better place to handle the things and the people that may cause you stress. Include rest and relaxation in your daily schedule. Don't allow other obligations to encroach on that time. If you set aside 1 or 2 hours for yourself, that is your time. You understand? It is not time for other people to come in and disturb that time. You need to make that a priority. If you need that couple of hours or you need a day for yourself, you do that. And you set aside that time just for yourself where you can relax, regroup, reconnect, refuel, okay, refresh. Okay, and do something that you enjoy to do every day. Make time for leisure activities that bring you joy, whether it's stargazing, playing a piano, playing a musical instrument, whether it is building something, you know, those little ships in the bottles or those little model things, or put a puzzle together. But set aside some time to do a puzzle, do an activity, and take up relaxation. Learn to relax as a practice, okay? Learn to relax like you've tried a new type of diet or food. Incorporate that into your lifestyle. And finally, this is the least but not the last. Manage your time better. Learn to manage your time. Poor time management can cause a lot of stress. When you are stretched too thin, running behind, it's hard to stay calm and focused. Plus, you'll be tempted to avoid or to cut corners or to cut back on healthy food or doing something correctly the right way. You should be doing to learn how to keep these stresses in check, like socializing, getting enough sleep. One thing that I do want to stress is that most minority women do not get enough sleep. Most minority women get 6 hours, 4 hours sleep, where we're supposed to be getting 8 to 10 hours of sleep. But we know, I couldn't tell the last time I slept for 10 hours. I don't know. Do you know anybody that has sleep for 10 hours? I can't. I have to be like really exhausted. Now, and don't overcommit yourself. Don't overcommit. Don't put too many things on your schedule. Prioritize your tasks, break projects into smaller steps, and delegate responsibilities to other people. Delegate responsibilities to other family members, delegate other responsibilities to your staff members, to your employees, to the people in your family, or to the people that live within your house, okay? And learn to maintain a balance and healthy lifestyle. That is absolutely important. And in addition to diet and exercise, there are other healthy lifestyle choices that you can use to increase your resistance to stress. Eat healthy, reduce caffeine and sugar, avoid alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs, okay? Well-nourished bodies are better prepared to cope with stress, so be mindful of what you put into your body, be mindful of what you eat, how you start your day, and the things that you put into your body before you go to bed at night, okay? Now reduce the caffeine and the sugar. These are temporary highs. I remember I think I was working, where was I at? In Ridgewood, and I used to have coffee with a couple of 3 scoops of sugar or 2 spoons of sugar and the sweetener. And I remember I had a Kit Kat bar, and I had the coffee with the chocolate, and I had just left work, and I had just before I finished up my day, I had the sugar rush. So I'm moving really quickly and doing everything quickly, and so I'm driving, and I made it to the toll booth. And by the time I noticed while I was driving, I was getting very sleepy. I had to pull my car over and take like a quick nap because I had that sugar rush from the caffeine and the sugar. Then I had that. And then when I told my doctor, they were like, are you pre-diabetic? So now I have black coffee, no sugar. When I go to the supermarket, I don't buy junk food. Every now and then I'll have a piece of chocolate or some fruit, but I don't binge on it like I used to. And I don't like when my teeth are stained with the caffeine. So I had to cut back on that as well. Avoid alcohol and cigarettes, and avoid doing drugs. Self-medicating with alcohol and drugs may provide an easy escape for stress, but the relief is only temporarily. Don't avoid or mask the issue that you are trying to avoid with it. Learn how to deal with your problems head on with a clear head. Learn how to handle your emotions and how to deal with your emotions. Okay? Don't self-medicate. That's not good. Don't self-medicate, and learn to relieve stress within the moment. Like the moment that you realize that you're stressed, learn how to release that stress and deal with it right there, right then. You understand? Nip that in the bud right there and then. When you're frazzled by your morning commute, stuck in a stressful meeting at work, or you've gotten into an argument with your spouse, or you need a way to manage the stress levels right now, there's a quick way to release the stress that comes up. The fastest way to reduce stress is by taking a deep breath, using your senses, what you see, what you hear, what you taste, and what you touch, or through a soothing movement. By viewing your favorite photo, smelling a specific scent like lavender. I like the smell of lavender. I like the smell of baby powder. And with listening to your favorite types of music. I like all genres of music, from hip hop to jazz, R&B, rock, gospel, reggae. But I know that when I get to a point where I am so stressed that I can't even think, I put on instrumental music, and I like to listen to opera, Bach, Mozart, and I like classical orchestra music where I can just hear the instruments. I don't have to hear anybody's voices. I don't have to hear people talking or singing, because my head is so overwhelmed sometimes that I can't think. That's like being a telephone operator and you're on the phone all day long. The last thing you want to hear is when you get home, your phone ringing off the hook. You don't want to talk to anybody at the end of the day. So when I get stressed like that, I like to listen to classical music, and then it clears my mind. And if it's good for Einstein babies, for babies when they're pregnant in a mommy's tummy, it's good for me too. And at that, we can say, learn how to deal with the stresses in your life. And of course, it is not everyone that responds to sensory equipment in the same way, and we all respond to things differently and in different ways. So find out what works for you. Find out what releases stress, what causes stress, how to deal with stress, and remember to practice the 4 A's. Get moving, get connected with each other, make time for fun and relaxation, and remember to subscribe to Jennifer's Perspective. You can listen to Jennifer's Perspective on Anchor FM, Google Podcast, and Spotify. And hey, I'm still accepting appointments now for the last week of March. For the last week of February. I have an open time slot for that week. And for the week of March, I am still looking, if you are looking for a life coach or counselor in any area, such as relationship, career, or you just want to get to the next level, we also do family counseling and coaching as well. So if you want to make an appointment, you can contact me on Facebook or call me at 201-749-1918. Connect with me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and I just want to say I love you all very dearly. You are very precious to me. Thanks again, everyone, for following, and thanks for listening, liking, and subscribing. Thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone. Love you. Hello. And let's see. And then I'm still on.